Hello, folks. I am thrilled to receive today Angie Harmon. You know me, guys, right? If when I start talking, I won't stop for a little bit. So before I even start, Angie, would you like to say a few words? It might be your last chance for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Hey everyone, I'm Angie Harmon. I'm a psychic, a medium, Reiki Master, and I've learned with working with my clients that I love teaching. So that's basically what I'm all about. I'm teaching people how to bring joyful abundance, not just abundance in general, but learning how to play with it. And in that discovery, I help others figure out where their blocks are hiding, whether it's past emotional trauma or self-limiting beliefs, and we help smash them. We obliterate them. So then that way we can have more fun. So I hope you enjoy this interview. I'm going to turn it back over to Kevin to proceed through.
That's amazing. I love that. And I know being asked to say a few words right out the bat, it's not necessarily that comfortable. You did an amazing job. And yeah, guys, believe me, you're not ready for Angie's magic, proper magic, right? Not just figurative. And okay, so Angie, in a nutshell, very first, we've met a few months ago in an amazing event called CoachCon, led by Sarah Gray, and we ended up being in the same program / movement / I'm not sure what it is, but it's so awesome. And we connected big time over misfitness. And I just shared, that I was focusing on serving my fellow misfits, and Angie was like, ooh, let's connect. I'm one. And we share many things. One of the things, and I'm not sure I ever mentioned that actually, but I lived in South Carolina 15 years ago. So we might have been almost neighbors sometime. Yeah, I was pretty sure I never mentioned that to you.
15 years ago, I was in Michigan, but my dad was still in Carolina.
So we definitely couldn't meet in any way, but we are definitely proud weirdos, both of us. And okay, before I introduce you a little more, I would love to welcome properly Sharon, Jane, and Charito that just joined us. So we're getting ready. Whoa, I feel special. Only ladies so far. Ooh, that's great. Guys, I invite you to come in the comments. Otherwise, I'm keeping all these ladies just for me. All right. So come and let's share. I'm just kidding. As you can see, I'm in a pretty good mood. And before I continue with introducing this amazing Angie, this magical Angie, I would like to actually let you know why I'm in such a good mood. Yesterday was my social alchemy masterclass. If you heard me last time, it went amazingly well. It was wow, beyond what I expected, to be honest. And actually, it was so much fun that I was like, hey, you know what? Like Nicki Minaj sings so well, starships are meant to fly. So this starship is not meant to be landed and parked for a month. So as I'm still hot, I'm doing an encore. I'm doing a second set of that masterclass. It will be improved, it will be tweaked and refined, and it will be next Monday, so May 6th. So I invite you to check. So it's bit.ly/social-alchemy-encore. If you missed yesterday, if you couldn't attend yesterday, I warmly invite you to join this coming Monday. It's going to be amazing. It will be at 5 p.m. CET this time, so 11 a.m. EST. Join us, guys. You're not ready. So yeah, we have several people that have been. So actually, Jane, Sharon, and Angie have been present yesterday. So yeah, as you can see, Angie's face?
It was
Yes.
fun learning new things from you. It was like, okay, I can't wait to find another way to work with you as well.
So let's discuss about it. But as you remember, guys, I'm not so much into self-promo on my own show. For me, my show, the Happy Misfits podcast, is really to put the limelight on my fellow misfits, right? And today is Angie. Now, back to Angie. So Angie has a very special superpower. She's both extremely competent, extremely skilled at corporate and administrative task, right? Your classical corporate. And at the same time, extremely skilled and let's say gifted. And yeah, excellent timing, Jonathan. I guess you knew what was going on. Gifted with intuitive and yes, mystical powers for real. So we're absolutely entering fluffy territory today. So if you're not comfortable with mysticism, with fluffy stuff, with spirituality, well, guess what? It's probably your cue to leave. Or even better, maybe you could try to open an inner window and you might actually like it. So I invite you actually to play with your open-mindedness and stay around and just listen to what Angie has to share on the topic, because believe me, that magic could bring a lot of magic in your own life. In the same way, it brought so much magic in Angie's life. Does it sound good so far? Does it make sense? And I'm not sure making sense is the right word. Does it feel right to you? So you're free to leave or to stay. Angie and I will have lots of fun anyway. So hopefully you will stay with us. And I see our friends from Amplify Your Business movement. I mentioned Sandra Pele join us as well. And we have Jonathan, as I mentioned. So I'm not the only male anymore. So Jonathan, thank you. I don't feel so alone, so threatened by so much feminine energy. I'm kidding. I'm never threatened by feminine energy. We love you, ladies. We need you, ladies, in our life as men and as human beings. And actually, so talking about feminine energy, to me, feminine energy is the direct link to intuition and mysticism. You might have another take on that. You might see it differently, but I feel there is a special link to feminine energy, which to me is not female energy. It's two different things. Yes, women tend to have more feminine energy naturally, or like it would be on average, but to me it's two different things. Actually, I would love to have your take on that.
It depends on the person, honestly, because we are all born with our innate gifts, whether or not we were raised with them. We've got stories on my side of both sides of my family from the women, but I've learned it's more of those who are caring and open and are caretakers. That's the energy that comes into it. It also is for those who are seekers. Seekers within themselves and outside of themselves, searching for meaning in their lives, searching for this deep-seated need to help others, whether it's through training, doing great at their job, or the healing aspect, whether it's the paranormal or the medical field. It's a combination of all those things as well. So I don't think it just relies on just feminine energy. It's more of the caring mentality.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. And yeah, to me, I feel it might come more naturally for people really deeply connected with feminine energy. So like the cliche would be like, yes, women have an extra edge at it. But yeah, there are many ways to care. So thank you for including us. And yeah, Sandra says that she can relate. Absolutely. Right. And thank you so much, Charito, for to mention the people that are not commenting, or maybe they are on their phone or something. So Jean, Mike, and Alejandra, and Sandra as well, that are with us. So we are plenty. And so, guys, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Angie, feel free to ask them in the comments. I will be happy to share the questions with Angie. And we have Alden in the room. Alden, I don't know if you're connected with Alden, Angie. You absolutely want. This man is a master Jedi from outer space. You absolutely want to connect. Yeah, like you will dive big time, Alden and you. And actually,
Star Wars fan too.
So okay, let's. Guys, I love doing shoot outs to my beloved Hounds of Business community. This time it will be for the super freaks that Alden founded and is leading masterfully. The super freaks. Yeah, if you're into elevating the vibe of this world and making it a more shiny, lighter, more yummy world for everyone, you absolutely want to look up the Super Freaks and Alden. Back to Angie. So I don't see any questions for now. So I would like to start with my new favorite question. What flavor of misfit are you? What makes you stand out from the norm?
I am a paranormal weirdo geek. I've just been weird my entire life, being rejected from my classmates at a small age because I was not normal. I wouldn't put up with their stuff. I would experience weird things, which I thought was normal, found out later was paranormal. Like getting out of my body at age 4 to go downstairs and check on everybody in the house, including the dog. While everybody else, it feels like my body was in bed, but I was actually walking downstairs with my soul, my whole higher consciousness, checking on everybody, and then crawling back into my body and going to sleep. I talked about that years later, and they looked at me like I was weird, and I'm like, okay. So then I was thrown a teacher who taught me about paranormal stuff, and I was able to. Every time I told people about my situation, my experiences with deja vu, precognition, and all that other stuff, they sent me guides and people to teach me that or give me into books. And so I built my stuff up from there, and it's been building and building from age 4, more experiences in high school and then afterwards, and then it just exploded from there. I love it. I love teaching people about it. I love explaining how I know things. And that's where my foundation is for helping people. I explain all your clairvoyance, your own intuitiveness. We help fine tune it. And then we go from there.
Yeah, and that is very, very, very powerful share, because very first, and I know we share that. To me, normal is boring. I don't do normal. I tried to, like everybody else. It didn't work for me. Like I'm okay, and don't get me wrong. I have nothing against people that are embracing normality. I call them normies. I love my normies. We need the normies. We absolutely need people that are in that box that doesn't fit anyone. We absolutely need them. So we know where the threshold is, right? We know where it starts and where all the yumminess and goodness begins for us. So I love for me, they're milestones. Normies, me. And the rest of the fun and the fun people, the people that you like, that you can really, really enjoy amazing rides. That's just me. I'm not pushing my beliefs on anyone, but yeah.
Jonathan, I love your statement.
No, normally, yeah. The Jonathan is as a Reiki Master, Reiki Ranger. Actually, you absolutely want to connect with Jonathan as well. So yeah, love your misfit flavor. Very tasty, obviously. And let's go a little bit deeper. I would love to know where it all began, actually. How did you discover your atypical abilities as a kid? Did it happen like overnight? And then how did it impact your life?
Well, as I mentioned, it started at 4. Age 10, I was having lots of deja vu. I found out later in life it just means that your higher self is going forward in life to give you a select event just to reassure you're on the right path and you're doing everything correctly. But I kept getting, I didn't understand it at age 10. I thought it was just a weird thing. Take care of it, move on, don't talk to anybody at school about it. And then high school was when it really started to develop. We had an instance where we were clowning around in the lunch hall, and one of my friends had a crystal on her neck, and I was joking. It's like, I'm going to touch that crystal, and I'm going to tell you something funny. I touched the crystal looking at another person that I was supposed to talk to, but suddenly my head turned and looked at another friend and was like, oh, you're going to have a party this weekend. You're just going to come home all tired. And she looks at me wide eyes, really freaked out. It's like, I never told anyone I'm going to a party with my husband. How'd you find out? And that was just crazy. And then another incident was also when I precogged or seeing into the future. I had a little vision, and for me, it plays kind of like a movie of where I was bending down near drawers, surrounded with a blue light, picking up small objects. 1 to 2 weeks later, we were doing a science experiment with gravity and pennies, and the pennies fell down. I bent down, and there was the cabinet drawers along the science table with a Bunsen burner and everything. And I was right near the window, so the light was shining on the cabinets, making it all blue. So those are some instances. And then I've had weird ones with my client. One of my favorite clients who's been following me since 2010 when I went professional and started offering my services. I saw her, one of my guides told me to tell her that there was an angel with the number 2 as a halo on their head holding a baby. I then saw the image of the movie Baby Boom with Diane Keaton, where she had inherited that child in that movie. I turned and looked at her as like, I'm so sorry. This is totally not normal for me, but my guides told me to tell you exactly what I just said, and that you will be inheriting a child. Well, we lost contact with each other. So I got, she reached back out to me in summer and that same year and was like, oh my God, you will not believe what happened. The number 2 was December 12th, 2 weeks after we had met. So again, the number 2, she became the legal guardian of her second cousin, who was like 11 at the time. So it happens to me in spurts. I'm like really accurate and weird, and then time frames are like way off. And then other times it's just a soothing information just to reassure you that you're on the right path going where you're at. So I've been doing that. I've done some shows. And then I realized while I was giving readings and everything via phone, remote work like we're doing now, and also in person, that I was teaching the concepts that I learned on my own. And I realized, you know what? I need to do a program. I need to teach this. And so that's how come I found Amplify Your Business, how we met with Kevin. And that's my new thing that I'm incorporating at the moment in my life, is getting that started. Yes, the synchronicities, Jonathan, you and I, yes.
Yeah, I told you want to connect with Jonathan, obviously. No doubt about it. And I love, you mentioned a word that I know, and I know what it stands for. Like it comes from the French, clairvoyant. And I would love for you to explain a little more, because I'm sure some people don't know about it. But before we get there, I would like to say hey to Jen Lin that joined us as well. And Jen Lin, we had an amazing conversation earlier today, and you absolutely want to connect. And I haven't mentioned that actually. I will take some time to mention Jen Lin Summit next week. And Lisa also joined. And thank you so much for joining us, Lisa, and joining the conversation. And we have our first question from our beloved audience, from Jane. Jane always asks the very best questions ever. So usually when I see a question from Jane, I'm like, okay, let's do that one. But before we go there, so Jen Lin, so I will showcase her name. Jen Lin is hosting an amazing summit starting next week. And it will be about neuroglamming. Neuroglamming. Just keep that very weird and very funny name in mind. It should raise an eyebrow or something. You absolutely want to check it out. And Jen Lin is inviting me to be one of the speakers, actually. So I will be one of the speakers of the summit. I can't wait. So I will be a speaker next Tuesday on the 7th. But now back to Jane. Question. What
I
would
need you
you
to clarify
say?
that for me, Jen. Is it for me talking to my 7-year-old self, or would that be your 7-year-old self?
Well, let's assume it's yours for now, and maybe Jane will have another take at that. Let's pretend it's your 7-year-old for now.
Okay. Well, I would tell my 7-year-old self, it's okay. Continue what you're doing. I know it seems freaky at the moment, but your gifts are going to help people later on in life. You're going to be able to bring some positivity and healing. Thank you for clarifying, Jane. It was for me because it was scary. I didn't know what was going on. No one was teaching me this. I find out late, like decades later, my cousin's going through the same thing. So able to help her as well was fantastic. And she and I are basically seekers. We're seeking out information outside of ourselves. So I would mostly comfort my 7-year-old self to let her know that she's safe and she's okay.
It's so cute. I love that. I already made that practice, to go and hug your 7 or 5 or 3-year-old self. And yeah, it's extremely powerful. Thank you so much for this beautiful question, Jane. And guys, if you never did that, if you never tried to comfort your 7-year-old self, you might want to give it a try. There's a lot of magic in doing that. And that's the thing. So it's one of the things I shared yesterday in my masterclass, that I see it as the misfit link, the link that the thing that links all of us misfits. And it's especially like pain and social pain, especially. And we've been, because of our difference, we've been rejected somewhat. And we've suffered from that. And it leaves trauma, yucky, nasty traumas. And some of us are still able to bloom beautifully despite of that. And some others not so much. So maybe you are still in that situation. Maybe you're still struggling with inner resistance because you felt what made you special was something negative somewhat. And we don't want that. We want to embrace our special light. We want to embrace our weirdness. The world is waiting eagerly for our weirdness, like the amazing gifts, clairvoyant gifts that Angie has. The world is eagerly waiting for them. And all the people that she will help awaken to their innate superpowers. So you absolutely want to tap into that, to what makes you magical inside. And yes, weird and a freak show and whatever you call it, absolutely, because you're not normal. You don't want to. Please don't be normal. If you're a misfit, if you're beautifully unique, don't let them get you.
I have
don't
found
let them.
I'm sorry. I have found that the more I've tried to become normal, the universe throws me things to make me abnormal. Go back to being abnormal. That's not you. That's not your authentic self. Be you and you'll see great things come your way.
Yeah, that's yeah. To me, abnormal stands for awesomely beyond normal, way beyond. Like the world is not ready for how abnormal you are. So let's embrace it. Okay, let's move to my next question. So guys, it's still oh maybe no, there is a question actually. Jonathan. Oh, Jonathan is playing. Okay.
Turning down the volume. Yes. Oh my God. I'm so glad you brought that up because for the past few nights, in order to get ready for this, my guides keep waking me up when I'm at my calmest saying, okay, we need to talk. And it's just like, okay, no, I'm trying to sleep. I have work the next day. So what I've done is I've asked my guides and angels to okay, I know you want to talk to me. Let me write it down and what we've got. And then I got to go back to sleep. And I promise during my lunch hour or set specific time, we'll sit down and talk with each other. And then that's when I get into a sacred space, getting as calm as possible, opening up my Reiki shield and just start talking. And I have the pen and paper handy because there are times that it is coming at me so fast that it's like, okay, notes real quick as soon as I can. And then that way I can meditate on them after work or if I have another break session later that day. Whenever I have the high-pitched ringing in my ear when I'm downloading stuff from the universe and Archangel Michael, I ask them to just turn down the volume a little bit. I need a focus. You are in control of how you are getting your information is the main key. You're the one setting up your filters. You're the one of saying, hey, I can't handle yucky stuff, gore, whatever, when you're giving me messages. Can you please just show me a different image to represent that information? If you're coming at me too fast, it's like, now's not the time. Unless it's life-threatening, and now is not the time. I promise I will set time aside for you. And that's the thing as well, is they're going to keep coming at you until you talk to them. So just tell them, hey, make an appointment. And my appointment on my calendar is usually lunch hour, early morning as I'm getting ready for work, or in the evening when I'm about to work with my clients.
I love that. So very first, Jonathan, amazing question. And like Angie, stellar answers, plural. And yeah, that's the thing. So this topic is extremely important because guess what? Many of us are highly sensitive people, right? Especially like if you're on my show, if you're a misfit, if you're connected to your misfitness, chances are you are a highly sensitive person, yes. At least to some degree. And there are many different flavors, right, of being highly sensitive. And like basically, if you're an introvert, you're by definition highly sensitive. That just ingrained is in your DNA. If you're an introvert, you're highly sensitive, period. So these tips of turning down the volume are extremely important, or most probably vital for highly sensitive people, empath, or whatever you call them, or you call us, right? So I feel basically everyone on this show, still in the audience, you can relate. You can relate to some high level of empathy, high level of sensibility, and yes, sometimes it's way too much. So as a Capricorn, I have my cave, right? We have a very special cave between Capricorns. We don't share it with others. It's ours. We keep it in our inner circle. We let you have your own caves, other people, non-Capricorns, but we have our very special cave. You can't. It's an exclusive club. I'm sorry, you have sneakers. You can't come in. But you get to play with your own caves. And yeah, there are many ways to do that. So thank you so much for your amazing tips. I've seen a few shares in the comments. I would love to highlight them real quick.
Mm-hmm. So I like Jen's statement.
We had that, the waiting room. That's a very good one. Love it. Yeah, that's really good. I don't see any other. Oh, Jonathan commented, just thanking you. Setting appointments as well. Yeah, that's very powerful. So we have Noélie that just joined, very, very into spirituality and mystical vibes, and Noélie as well. You most probably want to connect. And we have another question. So from Sharon this time, how do you develop the ability to really hear what your angels are saying?
I love this question because that's basically what I coach and teach. So when I start with my program, I get you to know all 6 clairs, the main ones. I want to talk to Jen Lynn about her 30 later, so I'll message her later about that because I didn't know there was 30 of them because I was raised on the 6. So you've got instant knowing, claircognizance, then you've got clairaudience, you got clairalience for smelling, clairgustance for tasting, and then you got your seeing, and then your feeling, which has 2 parts to it. So it started with me with mostly seeing and feeling. And so when I teach it, we start with your base clair and then we add the others onto it. And we do this through games and mostly practice. So, so with my coaching program, I'm sorry to plug myself here, but we start with that foundation, and then we go with figuring out who your guides and angels are, because you are working with them to get this information, not just immediately you got it. And so that's a working relationship between the skill set and who you're speaking with. And then we just develop it through weekly practice. And then from there, because I really want people to have a joyful abundance, I teach people how to relieve their blocks and stuff through several techniques that I've learned over the years. And it's basically finding the right combination for you, because no one's a cookie cutter. So if you are into movies and you love seeing things, but you love sound, then you're going to get a mixture of those 2. If you are into empathy, which is one part of, you've got the physical, and then you've got the emotional part of clair sentience, which is clear feeling. I'm mentioning all these clairs because it's based in French language. Anyways. So this is also helping to explain clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, that Kevin wanted to mention earlier. When you get all that, you're training your guides. It's like ChatGPT, like my client Mona says, is that we're plugging in information in order to get a response back. So we're training ourselves to get that information. And all it does is just take time. And like I mentioned, over and over, practice. But if you find the group that you can do it with and you're comfortable and it's a safe environment, wonderful things can happen. Flame messages, the images coming across, tasting someone's meal before they come to my class and their guide's telling them quit it with the fat, cheesy stuff, things like that. So I hope that answers your question. Maybe a bit overload there.
I'm pretty sure Sharon can take it. And I would like, so we have a follow-up question from Willis. And thank you, Willis, for joining. But before we get there, I would love to share an amazing tip I developed, how long? 2 years ago. Because actually, back then, I tended to get triggered. When I saw angels or archangels, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not religious, right? So I have absolutely nothing against religious people. The thing is, when people were talking about angels, I was like, to me, it was like a wall. Like, okay, we don't speak the same language. I'm not interested. To me, it was a direct block, a direct wall. The thing is, I developed an amazing tip, an amazing tool to go through that block and through that wall. And to me, it's exactly like speaking a foreign language. What you call angel, to me, I call it differently. I call it guide. And suddenly, I don't have any resistance anymore. We speak the same, we mean the same thing. We just use different words. The language is different, but the meaning is the same. So and it might ruffle some feathers. I hope you won't be offended, guys. But to me, the name of God for Christians, for Hebrews or for Muslims, either like the name is different, but they're talking about the same bearded guy.
The same energy.
My opinion, don't want to push it on you, but to me, they just use different words to call the same entity. I'm not religious, so I have like a different approach. So hope you're not offended by my take on that. But actually, it's super helpful to have that kind of translation tool, opening so many doors. So yeah, sorry,
and,
go.
To add on to that, I switch between God, goddess, spirit, universe. I'm trying to use universe more often because it's a general term and embraces everybody. But I have learned also from Ganesh and Lakshmi and Vishnu and so many others. There's the goddess Danu, Pachamama, that we're here on this earth to help others. We have our own path, and what we're willing to accept in our lives right now, the universe will use so that way you can help others. So if you believe in the Indian gods, Christianity, Muslim, the Jewish, then it's okay, because we can't help everyone, but there's little pieces and little groups that are all on the same path leading towards our afterlife, whatever we choose it to be, from there. And so that's how I wanted to confirm what Kevin was thinking, is that it's that generic, we're all on the same path, light helping light.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really how I feel. And once again,
I love that, Alden.
My point wasn't to offend anyone, of course, but that, to me, like, I don't know how you say it in English. It's all roads lead to Rome, right?
Yes, all roads lead to Rome.
Your path might be different. You might call that path differently. It might be a different scenic route. To me, it leads to the same place, to abundance and fulfillment and joy. And whatever you call your little friends helping you on that path, it's good for you. So just wanted to do that, because really that angels thing opened to me an amazing practice. Like it changed my entire life. It's something that is directly impacted my clients and all the people around me since then. And if I didn't find that translation tool for myself, I couldn't access to all that goodness. So I'm so grateful that I found that tool, because once again, before angels, it was like, no, thank you. But now I'm like, sure, getting on. Just angels are guides. Absolutely, you're welcome. Okay, so less me, more you. How do angels and numbers relate?
Okay, so this is one of the ways that your guides and angels are going to communicate with you, especially when you're first starting out and you're testing your connection to the ethereal form of communication. So what happens, you'll either feel drawn to a number, or you'll feel so like when I'm working with the financial documents, or I'm looking at my mileage, or I'm looking at the clock in the middle of the night, there's a number on there. Okay. And my guides are like, you need to figure out what this meaning is. And you can Google it, because there are other people who have developed their own dictionaries, but the original was Doreen Virtue. So if you could find one of her Angel Numbers 101 books, whether it's the classic weird angel language or the more traditional one that she published later, it's great. 888 means abundance is here for you, and craziness for you to use, whether you need time, energy, money to support your business or your career changes, or even just yourself there in general. 11 and 22, I like breaking these down. 11 is to stay positive. 2s, it's my favorite number. There's a really cool incident in Ireland that my student witnessed. That was really cool. So I'll explain that story in a second. 55 means lots of changes are happening. Call upon the angels to help assist you with whatever's going on. The 222 story was my cards were not working in Ireland. I don't know why. So I had to go to an ATM to withdraw money. And I was worried about just having enough for the overage and everything else. And I'm laughing because as I pull out the receipt, it says 222 period 22. And I show it to Mona. And that is my favorite angel number because it's reassurance. Everything is working out for you and those involved. Let go, meaning don't worry about it. Keep turning your worries over to angels in the universe. Keep going. Okay, everything's working out for all those involved. So that made me feel so much better, and I was able to enjoy the rest of Ireland because I was able to take care of food and all that other stuff, that normal life has, right?
Oh, that is so good. So yeah, I never really thought about looking up, the meaning behind those numbers. So thank you so much, folks. I hope you took some notes. That was really really good. So I won't look at the 222 or 888 in the same light. Thank you so much for that share. And yeah, so we have another follow-up question. So yeah, how do you know what the number means? But so you already covered that. You learn from books.
The angels are with you. It's okay. You're comforted and you're surrounded and protected. That's what 444 means.
Nice. So hope you're taking notes. If you're not, you just DM Angie and you ask for her and for recommendation. And actually, maybe you could do a post about that. A number explanation. I'm sure many people would be very interested, or even better, a series of posts. That would be nice. Series of posts, a number of posts. So thank you so much for this 3 Russian dolls questions. And yes, Jane, numerology is incredible.
That's honestly, a tiny bit of numerology.
Yeah, and I've been
huge thing too.
Yeah, actually, that one I never went down. I'm wondering. But yeah, now I'm really considering changing that. You're like, maybe it's high time, especially because I started to notice a lot more. And you know how it works, right? You know how it works that when you start seeing, you notice more and more and more. Actually, I would love to share another amazing practice called the magic I witnessed today. I don't know if you know that one, Angie, or anyone in the audience. The magic I witnessed today. The idea is every single day you take note of all synchronicities, serendipities, oddities, something that brought you some positive thing. So and you feel like something is at work. Something is like that seems too big for coincidence, right? And you might just want to start with coincidences if you don't believe in that. And very rapidly you will see, hey, you know what? Your days are full of them when you start looking at that. And you'll start paying attention. Like that iconic red car that you see everywhere when you start thinking about buying yourself a red car, right? I know. If you want the full story, you ask Angie about the Mustang. But the
Mustang
will be
story.
Time. I will see. Maybe sometime later for the Mustang story, but I don't want to tease people too much. We'll see if we're playful or naughty or whatnot. Nice. We have a question from Noelle. What about stars? Star seeds?
Star seeds, I think it was.
Star seeds. Yeah, star seeds. Good catch. So star seeds.
I haven't really studied that much on star seeds. There's the definition that I was referred to as is that there are us who have had so many past lives, and we're watching the way the world is operating, and we choose to come in and experience life here on Earth. And so we have, that's what I've heard as star seeds. They still want to help us grow and learn our human selves within this planet. And I've seen articles and such, like if you're taking over someone else's life commitment. There's so many different aspects to starseed. So let's see. So how about you define star seeds for me? Maybe I can elaborate for you.
Okay, so while Noeli formulates her explanation, if she wants to, no pressure. So we have an extra question for Willis. How do recurrent dreams and visuals relate with guides?
Okay, so with dreams and visuals and guides, what's happening here is the recurrent dreams. There are dream dictionaries, if you will, that help explain certain aspects of your dream. So when I first started learning about this, as soon as you wake up, if you have that pen and paper nearby, journal to write down your dream and try to remember as many details as you can, because I learned that I was getting a lot of water dreams and a lot of tornado dreams. And it just means a lot of emotions that needed to be sorted through with relationships to regards to whoever showed up in the dream. And in my case, it was my coworkers, because the way we were going through so many different administrative changes within the payroll system that we were using. And then visuals, that would be going back to the clairsentience. What's happening is you're getting a quick image for you to remember, whether it's from a movie or a past memory, especially. And that's when you set up your vocabulary or dictionary with your guides to assign a meaning to it if you don't understand it right away. So as an example, I saw 2 green Mustangs today. They were lime green, which means the universe is providing 2 opportunities for me to manifest abundance in my life. And so after that, I said, thank you, pretty please make certain I don't miss them so I can take action on them. The other thing would be symbols, like I would need, I'm feeling lonely today. So another aspect, because again, I love Mustangs, God would send me a red one for reassurance to answer my question, either yes, hugs, or I love you. I'm here with you. You're not alone. Oh, something happened with your sound, Kevin.
Yeah, it's so cute that Mustang story. When I thought the red Mustangs were just badass race cars, right? And actually, they're much more than that. So yeah, it's a totally different take. Okay, so we have Noeli's explanation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was a bit what I was explaining earlier. Okay. Yeah. Because I want to tell you about Kishnaja. He is a tall white alien who is also one of my helper guides. And so when we feel so disconnected, it's one of the things I learned is that we're part of certain groups. Today is International Fairy Day, and I love my fairies. So we have that. Then we have, but their favorite days, the summer equinox, because that's party time. Then we have the ET group. We have the mermaid group, and I'm not talking about the LG whatever group. I'm talking about those who are connected to water. So you've got your dolphins, your mermaids, your whales. Then you have the angels, because some of us are reborn angels. So to just stop there for a moment, because there's so many groups. Those groups choose, like I was mentioning, whether they're off the planet, so to speak, in the ethereal, which is where I believe our souls are hanging out, and we're in our soul groups and everything, choose to come back and help. Okay, so if I scroll back up to your original question, come here, mouse. 3 monitors, it's fun. There it goes. Okay, so within that relation, yes, just to add them, throw them in, star seeds, we are helping us to ascend. There was, I wish I could remember that book. That was like the 11, and then there was a 12th thing. It was a really great story about how the Aztecs disappeared, and it was because they soul ascended. They no longer needed their bodies. And if I could find that book, I will post it on my page, or you can DM me for it later. And So it's just one of those wonderful things to discover how you fit in, because as weirdos, we feel so left out. And to find our special group, our special misfit group, whether it's through Kevin or on our own, we that connected feeling helps reassure us, helps us feel belonged, so that if we have any questions, we guide each other by having these wonderful meetings. And we discuss topics such as healing, whether it be physical healing, emotional healing, healing the planet. Then there's topics about how to bring more abundance in our lives so we can help others, because that's mainly what we are here. If we believe that we are an acts of service towards others, and we stay in that format, the way we like, our authentic selves, not the way someone else tells us how to do things, but the way we want to help, then our life feels easier. We feel like we're meant to be where we are. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this teaching bit, because I love teaching. When I understand a concept, and there's so many resources to pull, so I will always do my best to help explain a topic to my best of my knowledge. And then if I don't know anymore and there's more you want to learn, I will help you find someone else to learn with. Okay. And then that's another thing I add to my list of growing list of things I want to learn, so I can incorporate it when I talk to people.
I really love that. And just want to mention real quick, once again, the power of having a translation tool. Star seeds, I don't believe in them, at least for now. But I still understand what you and Noeli mean. And by translating it into something that means something for me, then I'm following this conversation and enjoying it, instead of being resistant. Like, what is that thing from alien stuff? Nah. No, actually, no. I'm embracing this sort of things. Just want to say hey to Hallie, and yes, absolutely, better late than never. Don't worry, you can always join whenever you can, Hallie. So good to have you here. We have a question from Willis. Well, hopefully we will be able to
Yes.
So, and you will be able to answer it. But before we get there, I would love for you, Angie, to explain to us what's going on in 3 weeks. Because we won't be able to go over time today, so we will have to stick to the hour, the top of the hour. So very first, if you want to connect with Angie, if you loved her very yummy energy, you've seen, like, she's very generous with sharing, and she's just beaming, glowing with all her knowledge that she wants to share with you. Just connect with Angie. She's an amazing heart. Just do it. If you feel appealed to, don't force yourself, of course. But if you feel to, don't be shy. Don't be a wallflower. Just connect, and Angie will be happy to explain to you even more stuff. Now, for the real yumminess coming, could you explain to us what's coming in 3 weeks?
So to register, the link is danumind.com. If you're having issues with it, just typing it as is, put the 3 W's in front of it. I don't know why it's doing that on my computer lately. But we are going to direct your destiny using intuitive feelings to abundantly attract success in your life. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss the number one thing that's holding you back. We're going to do give you a taste of my system that'll help you. You'll get more stories, including the Mustang story if you want to hear it. And then we're going to lightly sprinkle how you can communicate with your guides and angels, and also your point of view to help change things. And this is just a small taste of what I do in my coaching program. Just come and join us. Maybe you'll learn something. Feel free to follow me on instant message me on LinkedIn. I do hope to grow my audience here on this platform as I'm doing it also on Facebook. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the details. I'm definitely looking forward to this event. It's a little bit late for me, unfortunately. It will be 12 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
But still, I will do my best to at least attend the beginning. I really would love to listen to what you have to
Okay.
share about that. I'm super excited, and especially if you're not in Europe, but in Americas somewhere, you absolutely want to connect. If you're interested in directing your destiny, if you don't care, if you want to be in the in the back seat, sure. But if you want to be in the driving seat of your life and be directing your destiny, you must probably want to at least give Angie a chance to explain to you how you can change that. Just saying. So we have Dr. New who joined and Mike so switched from phone to a computer apparently. And yes, Ali, I'm exactly 6 hours ahead of Eastern time. And now back to Willis' question. Now I lost it. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's here.
So I love this question as well because I've gone through some past life meditations, and then I also guide some of my clients as well because there's also some blocks from that is preventing us from abundance. So one of them, I was a nun back in the 1400s. I was also a child of the Charles Dickens era. And then I had a crazy experience where I was had 9 lifetimes during World War II, where I experienced different branches served in. I experienced the opposite, what we refer to as the opposite side of the war, which would be the Nazi and the Russians. I think the Russians were allies during that time. But anyways, and just coming back with all that information, it was just, I could see how some of my characteristics from this lifetime have been drawn from that lifetime where I didn't heal my insecurities with family, or I didn't, or I took a vow of poverty as a nun, and that was kind of affecting my life currently. So the possibility for reincarnation is like having memories. So yes, you feel that as a part of yourself. Sometimes you will dream about them. Sometimes you will have the guided meditation I mentioned to you. Do you feel those memories of reality to you? Yes. Because as I was showing the links between how my past lives are currently affecting me. So, and being able to discover those and then work with my program techniques to help release them has been wonderful. So not only do I teach you, I work the program myself.
Yeah, and that to me there is no other way, right? Walking the talk. Our friend here, Mike Ashabrana, always mentioned that. Yeah, it's super cliche saying walking the talk, but actually, who is really genuinely doing that? Some people. And actually, just I will do a quick shout out to my beloved Hounds of Business, so that Mike founded amazing community. You absolutely want to have a community around you to support your journey, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solopreneur. The Hounds of Business, it's next level community, and actually, it's very possible that Angie would decide to join. Who knows? So we'll see. We'll see. Teasing a little bit. So we have Sarah that just joined. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're getting really close to finish this conversation. Amazing questions. Thank you so much to you in the audience. We love you. Thank you for the very, very sharp, very powerful questions that you asked. Thank you for your open-mindedness. Yeah, that topic was probably a little bit over the top for some people. If you stay nonetheless, you're brave. You're brave, and we love you. We love how open-minded you are. Because yes, not so long ago it was all the new age stuff. Very it could trigger a lot of people. I'm so happy that we live nowadays and so many things changed. Plus, we're changing era, right? We're entering a new age, and you better get ready. So you better learn how it works, how that kind of fluffy stuff work, because you will need it in very, very short amount of time. Not spilling the beans, but you want to know about that new age that's coming. And I believe we're done. Would you like to say a few last words to our beloved audience?
Well, whenever I end a session, I always like to thank the guides and angels of everyone for coming together in this moment and allowing us to communicate and answer everyone's questions into a welcoming environment. Thank you very much for your help. Please help us to continue on our higher self journey to where we help others. And thank you again for your guidance. Amen. Aho.
Thank you so much. You enjoy a wonderful rest of your day, folks, and see you next week. We will talk about hypnotherapy. That's going to be fun as well. Mm-hmm. So, see you next week.